Hello, 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 my darlings. I'm so happy to be with you on Thursday. Thursday. And I'm late tonight. I just took me all day to get this going, but it's okay because I'm going to talk about time. I'm right on time. You know, in the church, some of you may or may not know this, depending on what country you're in, but we will say he doesn't come when we want him to, but he's right on time. Talking about God, talking about Jesus, talking about something may not happen when we want it to, but it happens at the proper time. And so, I'm right on time. This is my time to be here at this particular time of the evening. It's late evening here. It's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or no, Eastern Daylight Time in Atlanta, Georgia. You like all this behind me? I just want you to see my beautiful, beautiful sunglasses and glasses that I use that I want to sell, but I can't sell because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I'm not at that level yet, but at some point I will be, and then you can get all of these right here. And I got a bunch today that are just fabulous. When I tell you they're fabulous, I'm not going to even show you one. That thing I had on yesterday, ooh wee. Anyway, but we're talking about aging. So now this is our book, Super Aging. We're getting older, but we're not getting old. Oh, I know we're getting older. And guess what? There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. You're going to come on the earth and you're going to leave it. It's going to be a dash. It's what you do on the dash that counts. Super agent. I don't know them. They don't know me. I don't get any money from this book. They don't know anything about me, but I like this book. I found this book on GMA3, and I've been doing this, 300 videos now? We've gone through the book, learned a lot. But I just like the title, and I use it as my background. Super. I hope people buy the book for them, for whomever these guys are, David Kravitz and Larry Wolf, up in Canada. I wrote one of them. They didn't write me back, and so it's all right. Maybe they thought I was some prankster. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, I like super aging. I like getting older without getting old. So today we're going to finish up Dr. McGarry's book, 102 Years Old. I don't know, do you want to live to be 102 years old? I want to in my right mind. You know, the black church says, I don't know about anybody else's church, I can only talk about what we say. When we wake up in the morning, we're so glad to be clothed in our right mind. And so every morning I praise God and I thank him for clothing me in my right mind to give me a reasonable amount of health. Because you need that to keep going. You have to have that kind of attitude. For those of you who are new, you're trying to figure out, she doesn't have any teeth. No, I don't have any teeth. I'm a three times cancer survivor. I'm doing the best I can. If you go back and look at my other videos, maybe a couple of days ago, I took this off to show you how much hair I had. And we're just going to do something with these teeth. But I go to the dentist next Wednesday, so we might be able to come up with something. I think it's my age. They don't want to fool with me. I don't know. I need to marry somebody with some good dental insurance. Or I just need somebody to pay for it. I don't need to marry anybody. All right, so anyway, here we go. I don't know. I don't want to say it like that. I think it'd be fun to be married in my final quarter. Yeah, I think that might be fun. If the person would be the kind that would know what comes with the final quarter. Anyway, the well-lived life. So Dr. McGarty, as a medical doctor, she lived to be 102 years old. I don't know. I think it's good. I mean, I tell students that talk about my age or talk about the president's age, anybody who talks about his age, then I can assume you don't want to live that long. You want to live long enough. You don't want to live that long. You want to die early. You want to die before you get to our ages because you don't want to be this age. This is an age you don't want to be. Because if you want to be this age, you wouldn't be talking about, why didn't all this come loose back here? If you want to be this age, you wouldn't be talking about our ages. People say, he's too old. Then I need you to go ahead and die, honey. Come on, get off the earth. Because you don't want to live to be 81, 82. You don't want none of those numbers. It was hard for me to swallow the 80 because I was, 70 was fine with me. 70 was fabulous with me, really. I met some great people at 74, turning 75. You see, so 70 was fabulous. And plus, that's what God had given us 10 years, what is it, 3 years, 3 score and 10. And so, you're all right with the Lord. I don't know how I got to be all right, but I got to be all right. And then to turn 80, it was hard to say, I vacillate because I talk about how wonderful it is to have these numbers. And then, but society has just worked against us so hard. It's like an uphill battle. It's uphill, uphill, uphill. But, like Myron Golden says, I grow myself so I can push uphill better. I grow Georgianne. I play in the dirt on the weekend. If you go back and listen to my videos, you know what I mean by playing in the dirt, gravitropic instead of, well, I get the other one in a minute, but I'm gravitropic. I'm still, the seed is still in the earth. I'm still growing. I'm still reading and preparing. And so I haven't made it, I haven't come through it yet, but I'm working on it. And that helps you push the boulder that works against you. Is easier to push when you have grown higher or bigger than the boulder, when you have more strength. When you strengthen yourself, then the boulder becomes light. And after a while, you just flick it with your fingers and go on about your business. I love that Myron Golden analogy that he did. All right, but the name of this last chapter, the conclusion, is You Are Right on Time. So here's the book. And here's the last chapter. You are right on time. You are right. You were born right on time. And you are going to leave right on time. One of the things she says in here is that she talks about fearing, I guess it's your age, fearing. And that's me, this whole 80 thing is, sometimes it's hard to swallow. And to make a personal thing out of it, it's hard to swallow when you wanted to go out with somebody and you look good for your age. I like all myself today. I love this shirt. It's so pretty. And, you look good for your age. Your brother rolled up on you, and then, he says, "Yeah, I finished so and so in 19 something," and you were like already somewhere else by that time. You were just retiring. I finished Morehouse in 1994. And you were like, I retired from Delta Airlines in 1994. I don't know. I have to swallow that 80. But I say it though, because I feel like I look good for my age. I feel good for my age. 3 cancers and life. I don't know. I just rather go ahead and tell it, And I know I got all this, but I can't do all this right here because I'm just not going to do all that. I was thinking about doing it. I was thinking about getting some Botox. Then I'm like, no, nah. I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to go all the way to the end just like this. I made up my mind that God has been good to me, and I'm not getting ready to play that game. Whatever that game is, it's all right for some people. But I just need, my person will take all of this, just like this. That's just it. And so one of the things is fear. Fear tells us it's too late. Fear tells us too late. Well, I wanted to run for office again, but the way they're treating Biden at 81, they're going to say Dr. Georgianne Thomas, 81. That's going to be the first line. The first thing they're going to write is Dr. Georgianne Thomas, 81, period. Or a comma, is running for Atlanta City Council. Citywide. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Fear tells us it's too late. It's not too late for me. It's just too late for the public. The public can't take it. I don't know. I don't know. I came to this world. I wanted to be on Atlanta City Council. I wanted that as long as I can remember. And I wasn't able to win. And I thought it was unfair the way all you needed was money to win. I thought all you needed was to have good credentials and a good heart and a desire to serve God's people. That doesn't get you anything. That sounds good, but that doesn't get you anything. You could be president of the United States with none of that I just said. And so I found out it all it took was money. You had the right amount of money, you could win. And I think that's I don't know. I'm disappointed that that's the way it was, but that's the way some people know how they got where they are. And what's amazing to me is how arrogant some of them are when we all know how you got there. Just how do you be arrogant? Don't return phone calls. And it's just amazing to me. But that's neither here nor there. That is not what others would say. Well, Georgianne, that's not what God had for you. And that's a good way of easing, putting a bomb in Gilead. I mean, it's a good way of cleansing it up, cleansing it. So I'll take that. But because I always say that too, what God has for you, He has for you. Dr. McGarry tells us that fear tells us it's too late. And I'm on page 222. All my numbers, people, I'm sorry. It tells us that we haven't done enough. Fear tells us we haven't done enough. I think that sometimes. What about you? You think you haven't done enough? You're a person of a certain age now. Have you done enough? No, you haven't. Because it's too much to do. You can't do everything, but you still got something to do. You still got some things to do. You know that. Many of you know you got that. And some of you, the youngins, because I look on my analytics, there's some 25-year-olds that watch me and some 35-year-olds that watch me. And you got a lot to do. You have so much life to give. Oh my God, when I was 25 and 35, at 25 I didn't have a child. But by 35 I had one. And divorce. Ooh. And a master's. Okay. Well, anyway, I did it. Ooh, God. Anyway, 35-year-olds, you still got a lot to do. You have at least 50 more years to live. Do you know how many days? 50 years? 50 years you have to live? Do you know how many days that? How many sunshine? How many sunsets? That's a lot of days. 365 a year, and you got 50 of them. You have so much to do and so much to give. Some of you all need to run for office yourself. Run for a school board where you are. Run for an office and do something for your community. I don't think it may not be. It was kind of, we had a little corruption maybe, and that's not for me to say or pass judgment. Let me snatch that back. But I will say that if you're somewhere and you're, especially in a small town, and everybody knows you, why don't you run for mayor? Or why don't you run for school board and make a difference? Many of you are thinking about it. I tell my students who are off in college that when you go back to your hometown where people know you, that's half the battle. If I had gone back to Gary, Indiana, I could have run for office there, but I don't know that I would have known that in Gary. I knew that I learned here. I learned in the 80s. I ran for state senator, and I came in 3rd out of 5, and that gave me a little boost, you see. But I didn't know what I know now, and even what I know now, I want the youngins to run for office and make a difference. And those of you who have retired, I want you to run. You see, you had a good experience on a job somewhere, and now you got a lot of stuff up here. All this up here, all this runs this, but you know a lot. And if you retired and you're in a big city, but you came from a small city, and they want you to come back home, go back home and run for office. Look how much experience you have from being in the big city and being on a job and seeing a progressive place. And then think about your home. Like I have a girlfriend, she knows who she is. That I want her to run for office in her small town. She lives somewhere else. She's been in Atlanta. She has a PhD from Georgia Tech, a master's degree from Wharton School or something, and the that's big deal, and an undergrad from Bethune-Cookman. I think she ought to go and run for office because she's single-handedly, a black woman is single-handedly rebuilding her community. Who lived here? Where did they go? You know my research. Go to my site. Who lived here? Where did they go? Some of you all got a lot up here that could help your hometown. You got a lot. You've been watching a lot of YouTube, or you've been visiting and traveling. But when you come back home, you look around and you don't want to be there. You know what you need to do? Great Britain. Is somebody in Great Britain? Is somebody in Great Britain? Is somebody in Great Britain that needs to run to be the mayor of your town and do something about it? Just like my friend, my good friend. She's my AKA friend too. I'm a Delta Sigma Theta. But anyway, I'm telling you, it's so much talent on the other side of this screen. It's unbelievable. So much talent. And guess what the talent is doing? Nothing. Nothing. Let's go on with this. She says that, fear tells us it's too late. It tells us that we haven't done enough, been enough, seen enough, learned enough, made enough money. That's what fear tells you. That's all a lie. It's a lie. I just lied to myself in front of you all. But I'm going to stick with that lie on the 81 running for office. Not in Atlanta. It's cruel here. It's cruel. It's cruel. It's not that kind of fear. It's a different kind of fear. This fear right here is a fear that you don't think you can do it. I can do it. I just know the lay of the land is not fertile enough for me to plant that seed. You know how in the Bible it says you planted seeds on a rock and then on some sand and then on some fertile ground. My daughter's gonna rake me over the coals the way I mess up some verses. She's Reverend Evelyn Sanders Swafford. Okay. Anyway, but if I know better than to take my seeds and put it on somewhere where it's not wanted. That's a hard pill to learn, a hard pill to swallow rather, and a lesson to learn. So I'm just not gonna be stupid. But anyway, she goes on to say, but love has its own timing. Life has its own timing. That timing deserves respect. Now I do like this sentence. Life, did you hear that? Love has its own timing. I like that. I love the love part. I think love is when a man and woman say they love one another. My friend Mary Rita, we are in our 60th year of graduating from Spelman College. And I'm on a committee with her because this is our reunion. And so Mary Rita, the first black Supreme Court Justice Chair, Burnett Joshua Johnson, is on the committee with me. Just brain power. Anyway, so we're on this committee to get people going. And then I asked her how was Killer. And I've been calling her husband Killer since we was freshmen at Spelman. I met her the first day. The first day at Spelman College, the first person I met to know was Mary Rita. And she's Mary Rita Abrams. Anyway, I that's some love. They've been together since high school. He came to Morehouse. He's in the class ahead of us. So he's already had his 60th. They came to Morehouse. She came to Spelman. And they're together now. That's some love that I wish I knew that kind of love. Or I wish I understood it. Or I wish I had cultivated it. Because I know it took some cultivation to have that. And so But I think you still can have it, even at my age. I want love in my last quarter, but I want it like that. I mean, Killer still looks at Mary just like he looked at her in high school, and Mary still look at Killer. I don't even know Killer's real name. See, with black people, it might be anybody. You get somebody a nickname in college. Brilliant people, brilliant. Just educators. Oh my goodness. But anyway, let's go on with this. So that's the kind of love you want, though. You want that kind of love. I told you the other day, when you watch how he watches you at the corner of your eye, it ain't nothing like a man, the way he looks at a woman. Where a man looks at, I forgot I'm sorry, the LBQT, I'm sorry. The way your partner looks at you. I put it that way. Because I need to be inclusive. But, it's just a way. But I'm Georgianne, just talk about how a man looks at me, and how you look at him. It's the eyes. It's the eyes, people. All right, I'm talking too long today. And it's timing. Life has its own timing. Like, this is the time for me to do this show. I wanted to do a show, but there was no YouTube. And God let me live for YouTube. I don't have to ask anybody. I can just have my glasses. I can have my stuff. I can be in one of the rooms in my houses. My daughter could get me a ring light. I can sit here and talk to y'all till Jesus comes back. And you can sign up. You can subscribe. I want you to. I want you to subscribe, and I want you to put a thumbs up. These people don't put my work out because I don't have enough thumbs up. I don't have enough subscribers. But it's okay. You're not going to stop me from doing this because it's good for me. I know that somebody on the other side of the screen is going to benefit from something I'm saying, especially as I talk about life has its own timing, and timing deserves respect. I respect how long I've lived. I respect all the things that happen to me, the good and the bad. Because if I hadn't had the good, the bad, I wouldn't appreciate the good. If I hadn't had the good, I wouldn't know when the bad came. The good was on the other side of that. You got to have the bad to go with the good to go with the bad. So, because it's a balance. You see, you got to have morning, night, good, evil, for you to understand. How do you know when to laugh? How do you know how wonderful it is to laugh if you haven't cried? You see, you can cry and you can remember something and laugh and pull yourself up out of that. We need to have these contradictions because contradictions develop a better understanding and a fuller understanding, or a more expanded understanding, or a more acceptable understanding of life. Because life can be a B. You know that. But so what? That has nothing to do with why you are here. You are here to face it head on. Face whatever it is head on. Don't put your head in the sand. Say, I'm going to face it, because on the other side of it is something good. All the things that happened to me, all the people who kicked me in the face when I was down, I wish them well. I wish them well. I have watched how God would fight your battles. You ain't got to do nothing. You just sit back and watch them go past. They go that way, going up, and you just watch them coming back. You hear about them later. You don't even look for them. Because life is like that. It's cyclical, as you know. And so, what else did she say? I'm sorry, I got to talking too long. I like this part, and then I'm going to be finished. I think many of us look at life and aging this way. Each passing year, a clarion call that announces that the fun is over. Each passing year, as you get older, the year's like, oh, it's no more fun. It's time to grow up and get serious. Or when we reach a certain age or stage of life, we feel that we've stopped growing, that healing is impossible, that we'll never change. Oh my goodness. You know how you couldn't wait for your birthday? Now it's like, oh, I'm going to be 82. How am I going to say that? How am I going to say 83? He ain't going to, hey, child, please. I'm looking forward to my birthdays. Every birthday fine with me. And in the conclusion, because I want to finish this book, the last page says, we work through these pages to turn you toward life. This is she saying her final discussion with you. This is an ongoing process. Life is ongoing. It's a practice we must embrace over and over. You got to live it. You can't throw it away. You know, when you're in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, ooh, hallelujah, hallelujah. And then you hit 50. Guess what, people? 50 is half of 100. 50 is half 100. You're on the other side. Make every day count. Every day count. Either on this side or that side. Enjoy it. On whatever side of the 50 you're on, enjoy it. Embrace it. You know, get up on that dash and dance. Get up on that dash and scream and holler with joy. Get up on that dash and say, I got something else to do. Don't let that dash be all there is. Birth, death, dash. I get up on my dash. Trust me, I'm up on my dash every day. Teeth, no teeth. Him, no him. Money, no money. Got nothing to do with life. They got all that. I got to get the bag. I got to get the bag. I got to get the bag. Get the bag. I'm not saying don't get the bag. But if that's if that is your aim, baby, I got some surprises for you. Life don't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. Anyway, I like these glasses. You like the glasses? I wish I could show you. I got some fur glasses. Come on, somebody. All right. Here's the good thing about all of this. The well-lived life. We're done with you, Dr. Gladys McGarry. Thank you so much for joining us. And I thank you so much for these two guys, David Cravett and Larry Wolf. I thank both of you for making the last series. I've done about 300 videos now. And I'm just thanking them for having been the foundation along with my own life. They've been the foundation to undergird some of the things that I've said and undergird some of the philosophies that I've espoused. And I hope that you continue with me, that you will subscribe. And know this thing, though. You do know that. I love you. Yes, I do. I love you, love you, love you. And you can't do anything about it.